everybody. Okay, so welcome to the Hair Raising Truth episode number 2. I promised you I'd be doing more hair videos, so I'm trying. So today's video is something kind of cool that I decided to do. I get bored with my hair color so easily, and I had a pink peekaboo done at one point. It was like back here, so it was really random. You couldn't really see it very well, but I really liked the way that it stayed in my hair, and I really liked the way that it looked, but I don't have enough guts to pull off doing the whole thing. So I just decided, okay, well, you know what, I want some color again, but I'll just do a couple pieces. So I saw in a picture in a hair book, which we have at my work all the time, a really cool, similar to what I did situation, and hers was like a pink kind of color, but I decided I wanted red because my hair is already kind of a red brown, so I figured it would kind of complement each other. That, and as the Manic Panic was rinsing out in the shower, it wouldn't tone my hair any ridiculous color. So yeah, that's always a plus. So I just did a little piece on the side here. I made it so that there would be regular hair color falling on top of it, just so that it wouldn't be like really random looking. And then I also did the under layer of my bangs, which it's kind of cool because when I pull them forward, other than this little piece that's kind of sticking out, but if you were to style it, you'd never have any idea that I had red underneath unless you were to like mess with it. But I thought this would be cool, so then that way when I do bump my bangs, which I tend to do when they get in my face, yeah, so when I go like that, obviously this is a lopsided one, but whatever, you can see it and it still looks cool, but then it's not like an in-your-face like, wow, she has crazy red hair. So it is a voiceover tutorial. I figured that'd be a little easier than me talking the whole time. Plus I had just woken up when I made this, so I thought that'd be a lot better. So yeah, if you guys would like to see how to do this, go ahead and keep on watching. But just a little background information, all the stuff that I've used you can get at Sally's. I used a Clairol bleach, Clairol developer, and Manic Panic. And of course they sell color brushes and bowls and whatnot at Sally's. So it's pretty affordable to do, and this jar of Manic Panic will like last you forever. I think I used like a teeny tiny bit, but just to do both pieces. But yeah, so I will go ahead and show you how to do this. So the first thing that you're going to do is take your clip and your foiling comb and section off a portion of hair that you want to be bleached. I want my hair to cover the red part, so I'm going to take a section and clip that out of the way. This isn't the section that I'm going to bleach, it's just the section that I'm going to clip up. So the next step, of course, is to determine which section that you are going to put into the foil to be bleached. This is the section that you're going to put into the foil, put in the band. I'm using the banding technique, which just takes a simple rubber band, which I'll show you in a minute. So I just want the section to be pretty subtle. I don't want it to be super huge or chunky or anything, but I want it to be in the portion of my bob which comes forward. So once you've determined which section that you want, you just take a simple hair tie or rubber band or whichever, and you're going to put that as close to the root of your hair as possible. Now because I have hair falling on top of it, it's okay if the roots are not completely bleached. This is a lot easier to do by yourself, this technique is. Obviously if somebody else is helping you along, it's a lot easier to have the whole thing in a foil and bleached out, but this is how I'm doing it. So yeah. So once you have your section of hair ready to go, it should just look like a band of hair. And you want to make sure that any other hair is out of the way. I have some hair that kind of falls right there in the back, so just make sure that's out of the way. And then you are ready to start your bleaching. I'm just using a Clairol bleach, which you get at Sally's, but as I said before, if you're going to use a Clairol bleach, make sure you use a Clairol developer. And since we're only doing a small section of hair, you only need a tiny bit of bleach. So you're just going to put that in your color bowl and take your Clairol 20 volume developer, and you are going to mix it in your color bowl with the bleach. Now I usually prefer my bleach to be kind of a whipped cream consistency, and you're going to see in a minute that it just kind of is separated, but you do need to take a whisk and mix it a little bit. And again, since I'm only doing a tiny section of hair, I'm only using a tiny bit of bleach. So bleach is to the consistency of your liking. You're going to take your foil and take your hair and make sure the foil is nice and snug against your head. Once you put the liquid on, it'll start to stay a little bit better. But then you're going to take your bleach and start at the top. I usually start at the top and work my way down. Now because it's a thicker section of hair, you're going to make sure that the hair is completely saturated. If you just put it on the one side and think that's okay, it's not going to get to the other side. So you want to make sure that it completely penetrates the hair. And you'll see in a minute I'm kind of breaking up that band of hair to make sure that it's flat and gets through the bottom. Obviously doing it yourself takes a little bit of practice. You see a couple times I struggle a little bit just because I couldn't really see what I was doing, being that the foil was kind of in my face. This one wasn't too bad, but I'll show you in a minute my bangs how difficult it is to negotiate liquid and brush and foil when you've got a foil hanging in your face. So once your hair is completely saturated, you're done with your bleach and you're going to fold up your foil. This just ensures that no bleach will get all over you, and it actually helps to kind of lock in the heat a little bit. Bleach works best with heat. Usually it's body heat that kind of helps to activate it a little bit, but in this case I'm just kind of folding it up and making it its own little section. I also decided to do a portion of my bangs as well, and I wanted that to be a really, really thin section. So I just did the whole bottom portion of my bangs. And this is again where I said it gets a little difficult to see what I'm doing when there's a foil hanging in your face, but I'm basically blindly doing this right now, by the way. So being very, very careful, especially because it is in your face, you're going to start to bleach it just as you did on the other side. And again, you can see I'm kind of like blindly attempting to do this. So once you kind of get your bearings and kind of get the hang of it, it's a little bit easier. But you're just going to bleach out the front just as I did with the sides. And because I'm doing a small section of my bangs, I probably don't need nearly as much bleach as I did for the other side. But for the front, you want to make sure you get it a little bit closer to the roots, especially if you do bump your hair just like I do. Otherwise your roots will show through. So then once you're done with that, you're just going to fold up your foil just as you did before. I kind of folded mine up a couple times just so I could actually see what I was doing while it was processing. So once your hair is completely bleached, it should be like a corn yellow color. That's about as light as mine likes to go. It doesn't really like to go white blonde. But once you have your hair, that kind of color, you're going to rinse out your bleach. So once you've completely rinsed your hair out, I usually dry it a little bit first just because it works with dry hair. But you do need your gloves for this part because this Manic Panic is extremely, extremely messy. The one that I'm using is Red Passion, which is the red one. And again, with your foil, you don't want this to get all over your face or the rest of your hair. So you're going to take the foil and put it right under your section of hair. And again, it fits a little bit better once you have the liquid on it, but right now you just kind of got to work with it a little bit. Then you're going to take your color brush, and I'm dipping it straight out of the Manic Panic jar. But then you're going to start putting the Manic Panic on your hair. And again, trying to saturate it completely so that one side isn't red and the other side is just normal. And the best way that I found to work with Manic Panic is to get a little bit of froth going to it, and you'll see in a minute, once I completely coat the hair, I go back and kind of work it in a little bit. As I said before, this is extremely, extremely messy, so make sure you do not get it on yourself or your clothing or the surface that you're working on because it does not come off. So you can see I start to really work it into the sides and kind of froth it around a little bit. So then once you have that, you're going to fold up your foil again so that you don't get it all over everything while it's processing. There's really no rhyme or reason to how I'm folding it. I'm just folding it so that it's not in the way. And same with the bang section. You're going to take your foil. Again, the blind test going on. For whatever reason, I had less problems doing this than I did the bleach, but the messier portion gave me less of a problem than the other part did. And again, making that Manic Panic pretty frothy and worked into your hair is the key to kind of getting it all to soak in a little bit. So then once you're finished working the Manic Panic into your hair, you're going to fold up your foil again. And again, just so then that way you can't see, that you can see. And I left this on for about 30 minutes. So then, once you've completely rinsed it out, I rinsed it out in the shower and styled my hair as normal. You have a really cool peekaboo going on, and it's really interesting to look at. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys next video. Bye!